Coming up in this video, guys, I got 5 top video editing programs that can really set you apart from your competition. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so let's get to it. Now, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about: videos, video editing, equipment, and software, and all that stuff. You know, I'm just a gadget guy when it comes to that stuff. So I just love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about 5 top video editing programs that you can use on your computer, whether you have a Mac or PC. I'm going to go over my favorite 5, I guess you can say. Some are paid, some are free, but we're gonna talk about them. So let's just jump right into it. So as you can tell here, I'm just gonna start off by saying, of course, I use a Mac. I'm on a Mac computer, and I've been editing on Macs for at least 10 years now, I guess. At least 10 years. Yeah, it had to be at least 10 years now. And for me, works better, works great for my workflow, and my program of choice is Final Cut Pro. Right here, Final Cut Pro 10. And of course, it's on a Mac. This is only for Mac. If you have a Windows PC, I got some stuff for you here in just a second, so stay tuned. But Final Cut Pro 10 is where I do all my editing. It has been my #1 program that I've used. I've used some other ones, and I've kind of played around with other programs as well. But for me, in what I do and what I'm trying to accomplish, especially on YouTube and making videos and everything, Final Cut Pro 10 works better for me and my workflow. Okay, everybody has their preference, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a few moments when I share some of the other ones. But Final Cut Pro is actually really cool. It's a very robust editing program. Again, it runs on your Apple computer. It has a lot of features. I'm not going to go over a lot of this stuff in this video. I got some other videos I'm going to be making where I'm going to go over more details about how Final Cut Pro 10 works and everything. But as you can tell, there's a lot of features here, a lot of things that it does, a lot of capabilities, a lot of things that you can use to become very creative when it comes to your videos. So just to kind of speed it up a little bit, how much is it? Well, the cool thing is you can actually do a free trial with Final Cut Pro 10 for 30 days. So, if you want to test it out, they give you the ability to test it out for 30 days. Fully, have access to everything for a complete 30 days to give you a real good understanding of the workflow and how it can work for you, just to see if it works for you, right? When I did the first trial years ago, I'm like, I'm sold, I'm done. This is the one that I'm using, and it works best for me. If I go back, how much is it after your trial? It's like $2.99. Which is actually really good, because way back in the day when I first started using Final Cut Pro, before the Final Cut Pro 10 version came out, it was like $1,200. Yes, when I first started using Final Cut Pro, it was $1,200 just to get access to this software. And of course, things have changed, in the game of softwares and stuff like that. So $300, definitely worth it. Okay, definitely worth it. So, and again, it all depends on what you're trying to do. It's a good program for beginners, in my opinion, as well. And it's good for that individual that maybe if you already have a lot of, you've acquired some skills in editing and making videos or whatever. I think it meets the need for both types of editors. If you're a beginner, or if you're an advanced or intermediate or advanced. So it'll meet whatever you're, again, that's my opinion. I'm just, because I was new with it at one point too, but the workflow is really easy, and they have a ton of training videos on YouTube, and also on Final Cut Pro, a lot of different things that they provide as well. But there's a ton of information on YouTube also. So it definitely works for the beginner, the intermediate, and of course the advanced editor. It'll definitely meet a lot of your needs. So that's a little bit about Final Cut Pro 10. It's my editing program of choice. It's what I use to edit all my videos. It's what I use to edit this video as well. And it works best for me and my workflow. So moving on to the second one. Second one is called iMovie. iMovie is also another Apple product. So if you have an iMac or a MacBook Pro, what have you, you can actually download this. Now, the great thing about iMovie, it's kind of like Final Cut Pro's distant cousin. There's a lot of similarities in the program, of course, because it's coming from Apple, so there's a lot of similarities in the workflow of it. It's still a little bit different, but it's a great program for beginners. And the great thing about iMovie is that it's free. It doesn't cost anything. There used to be a charge for it, but if you have a newer MacBook or an Apple computer, it usually comes standard with all the computers. Now, as you can see here, you can just download it. It's a free program if you have a Apple computer, and it's a great place to start if you're a beginner, if you're on a budget and you just want something that can really allow you to start making some videos. Now, the great thing about iMovie, in addition, it also works really good on mobile devices. So as you can see, you can use it on your iPad or even on your iPhone, and of course you can use it on your computer. So really cool workflow with it, and again, it's free, so it's a good place to start. So if you're on a budget, like, hey Steve, I want to start marketing, I want to start making videos for my business, and but I'm on a budget, hey, just start off with iMovie. And there's a ton of training videos on YouTube as well to show you how to do some things. But download it, start playing around with it, just upload some videos, just some random things, and just kind of see how things work. That's a great way to really learn how to use an editing program. Just get the program, throw some video files of something on your computer, just throw anything in there and just kind of play around with a lot of the different features, and that'll give you an idea of how it can actually work for you. But iMovie is a great place to start. When I first got my first Mac years ago, that was the first program that I really started playing with, and then eventually we started doing things with Final Cut Pro. But it's a great place to start, of course. So iMovie, and again, it's free. It should come. So if you check your iMac, your MacBook Pro right now, you should have a little icon. It looks just like this here. You should see that, and you should be able to launch iMovie and start doing some editing, right? Really cool, simple, and hey, and it's free, okay? Moving on to the third option is Adobe Premiere. And I've actually used Adobe Premiere as well. A lot of people use Adobe Premiere also, probably Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, and really a few other ones, but probably Final Cut Pro 10 and Adobe Premiere are probably like the standard. I know a lot of video buddies of mine that use Adobe Premiere. It has a lot of great capabilities, gives you a lot of range to do a lot of different things. I found it's really good. I've actually used it for several months at a time at one point, just to kind of see the differences between Final Cut Pro and also Adobe Premiere. And again, it's all personal preference. They're both great platforms. I found for me, and what I'm trying to accomplish on YouTube and just making videos and being a creator, Final Cut Pro worked better for me. But with that said, I know a lot of people that use Adobe Premiere over Final Cut Pro 10 as well. So again, it's a preference, right? And but Adobe Premiere is another standard editing program in the game of editing video, of it, very robust editing programs, and really cool options, a lot of great features. It's definitely going to give you everything that you need to really be an advanced editor, to really create some incredible videos, movies, whatever. A lot of people edit movies on Adobe Premiere, and of course even on Final Cut Pro as well, because they are both very robust editing programs. So I always tell people, hey, just check out whichever one works best for you. Some people like Adobe Premiere, some people like Final Cut Pro 10. It just all depends on, and some people even like other different programs that I'm not even mentioning right now. So when it comes to editing, a lot of it is all preference of the editor, right? How the workflow works for the individual. But again, Adobe Premiere is an outstanding video editing program as well. How much is it? They have a free trial. If you look here, let me zoom in. Adobe Premiere, you have up to 100 gigabytes of cloud storage, 7 days free, and they have a monthly fee with Adobe Premiere. So they have some options that are a little bit different than Final Cut Pro. So you can actually get Adobe Premiere for 20 bucks a month and get 7 days free with them, right? Or you can, we actually have this right here. We have Creative Cloud, which is basically a subscription service to Adobe that gives you pretty much all their different programs in a suite. So You can pay $52 a month. You can do a 7-day free trial. So basically what Creative Cloud is, it gives, like, me and my wife, we have that because she uses you know, some of the other different softwares like Photoshop and a lot of other different things that she's using in terms of creating websites and stuff like that. So Photoshop, After Effects, I use After Effects a lot in a lot of my different videos. And of course, that's an Adobe product. And so we have a list of a lot of different programs that we got access to, all because we pay $52 a month to get access to all those different programs. That makes sense? So it's a little bit easier to kind of get a lot of these different programs. They didn't always have these types of options. Before, you always just had to pay a whole lot of money to get whatever, but now they got some different options here. But again, just speaking on Adobe Premiere, you can get it, you know, you can do a 7-day trial, and then after the trial, it's like $20 a month. So it's a good option there just to test out to see if you like it or not or whatever. But again, Adobe Premiere is a really good editing program. Number 4, moving on, is HitFilm Express. This is another free program, and it works for Apple and Windows. Okay, so I told you, wait for the Windows people, right? So, and of course, even, let me go back here really quick. Adobe Premiere is also for Apple computers and Windows computers as well. So it actually serves both of those platforms. So if you have a Windows computer or an Apple computer, you can use Adobe Premiere. I meant to say that earlier, but I forgot. But in terms of HitFilm Express, same thing. If you have a Windows computer or if you have an Apple computer, it can work the same as well. And HitFilm Express is free. It's a free platform. Very robust editing program that you can definitely use. And I've actually done some trainings on it way back in the day, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, whatever. But because a lot of people are looking for some free options as well, and I get it. A lot of people are just getting started, and but they're looking for free options that have some muscle with it, some options, some things that you can really do with it, right? HitFilm Express definitely delivers on that, giving you the options that you probably want. They have some paid options as well that you can take advantage of too, but you know, HitFilm Express is a good place to start. You can download it for free. Works on, again, Apple computers and also Windows computers as well. So actually a really, really good program here. And then last but not least, we have DaVinci Resolve 15. It's another robust editing program. As you can see, a lot of great visuals right there of how the software looks. You can edit, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can do green screen stuff, just like all the other ones as well. Very, very robust editing program. And the great thing about DaVinci Resolve 15 is that it has a free option as well. So, you know, revolutionary tools for editing, visual effects, motion graphics, color correction, audio post-production, all in a single application for free. Download now. Or you can get DaVinci Resolve 15 Studio, which gives, of course, more stuff, more features, more options. You can pay $2.99, right? So, but again, you can do the free version of it, see how things go, especially if you're just getting started off. You know, a lot of times people just want the free version just to get going. As they get more advanced and more skillful with their editing activities, I guess you can say, they can always upgrade because they're trying to do more creativity, you know, with their projects or what have you. But DaVinci Resolve is actually a really good program. I've had it once before, just doing some training on some different editing programs, but very, very, very good editing program. So just really, really quick recap. We started off with Final Cut Pro 10, which is typically my main program that I'm using to even edit this video, and really a lot of the videos, most of the videos, probably 99% of the videos that you see on my YouTube channel have been edited with Final Cut Pro 10. iMovie, I've got some probably 1% of videos on my YouTube channel from way back in the day that were done with iMovie, but it's a great place to start. It's free, of course. And of course, we talked about Adobe Premiere, another great software, HitFilm Express, and then of course, DaVinci Resolve 15. I'll put some links right below, guys, so you can go directly to those options and download or whatever, so you can start making some incredible videos. You know, and if you got some value out of this video, hopefully this kind of gave you a little insight on some of the things that I'm using in terms of making videos and editing videos and all that. I've got some other videos I'm going to be making about different cameras and equipment and all that kind of stuff. So be sure that you like this video, comment below if you have any other questions, and also be sure to smash that subscribe button somewhere below this video. Be sure to click the bell also so you get notified on all my new videos that I'm going to be updating to this channel. So, hey guys, I know you got a lot of work to do. I know I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of editing to do. I got to edit this video, right? So I know you got some work to do as well. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Hope you got some value from it. I'll let you get to it. Click the links right below. And hey guys, we'll see you on the next video. Peace out.